Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Cancer in February 2021. What's going on, Cancer? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, friends, welcome to February. Wherever you are in the world right now, Cancers, I hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and secure. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, and even perfect strangers, my friends, because at this time, the world needs some goodness in it, the world needs kindness in it, the world needs compassion in it, and at every turn or whenever you can, I hope that you err on the side of those things. I hope that you make choices that are healing for yourself, healing for others. I hope that you err on the side again of goodness, kindness, and compassion. Just good woo-woo, good juju, all that stuff, all right? Cancers. This is going to be your overall message for February. We're going to start out with these 3 base cards. We're going to expand and get another 3 cards, hopefully, on the bottom. We'll talk about an outcome. We'll talk about an overall energy, all that good stuff. All right. But if you want to go ahead and skip ahead, go ahead and check the time. Go ahead and check the description box below. There's a timestamp down there if you want to use it. Also down there, you're going to see the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Any questions before you order, just email me. I'll answer you as soon as I can. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, even though I've been a little neglecting of that space right now, I had to unplug a little bit from tarot, but I'm going to get back at it. But if you want to follow me, there's a link for it down the bottom there, okay? 3 of Swords flipped out here as I was opening, so some of you might be going through a particular heartbreak or heartache at this time. Could be some unfortunate turn of events or conversations or realizations that are coming into your life, but wasn't really asking about that, so take it all with a grain of salt. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's open to your own interpretation. Please reinterpret and move people around. It's a general reading, so I might be addressing this as Cancer, but it might be reflective or true about another person in your situation. You might be a cross-watcher, and everything that I say about Cancer might be resonant for you in your own life, and you are not a Cancer. That's perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine, okay? And if I mention any other sign other than Cancer, take that with a grain of salt as well. There is no gender, etc., etc. All right, let's get into it. Let's start. We're going to discuss these 3 cards here. So what you have out in front of us, or in front of me, also in front of you, is the Hanged Man. So that's secondary major for Pisces. You could be dealing with a Pisces, but you don't have to be. 2 of Swords in reverse. Show you this deck as it's new to my channel, but I'm sure many of you have seen this deck all over YouTube, or you use this deck yourself. So 2 of Swords in reverse. And then you have the 9 of Swords on the end there, okay? And by the way, this the name of this deck is the Light Seers Tarot, or the Light Seer Tarot. No, Light Seers Tarot, thank you. If you're interested in knowing the actual name of the deck. Anyway, let's get into it. Cancer. Like, someone here has been really enlightened with a truth. A harsh truth, an unsettling truth, a disturbing truth, a heartbreaking truth because of that 3 of Swords that popped out in the opening. But it's all been an enlightening experience. And I feel I'm talking for many of your cases, if you couldn't tell, past tense. In some of your cases, this is unfolding now. In other of your cases, this will transpire sometime at a future date. But for many of you Cancers, you're already in, or someone in your situation is already in a reflective space when we see the Hanged Man there. I feel maybe to a certain extent, whether it be true of the current moment or it happened a while ago, there was some resistance to this awareness, or resistance to this information, resistance to this enlightenment. And it could be that, the powers that be kind of force someone into a reflective mode, into an uncomfortable reflective mode. The Hanged Man traditionally is someone who's suspended. They're tied up at the ankle, and they're like hanging upside down from like a tree or something. This is like some Cirque du Soleil, like silk work, modern circus, or like a yoga studio, or like a stretch. Like, this looks a little bit more comfortable, but there are aspects of this, despite what is illustrated here, that are the same. You're suspended upside down, and that's not how we naturally see the world as human beings. Most of us walk around on our 2 feet, or we walk around upright. If we're not actually able to walk, we do at least sit upright in some type of way. So when we are literally flipped upside down, our head is where our feet would be, or something like that. It's disorienting. It's uncomfortable, right? Unless you're like a 4-year-old, unless you are a circus performer and you're used to doing that all the time, it's not where you want to be. It's not where you want to be for an extended period of time. And that's kind of also what happens with the hangman. It's not 5 minutes and then it's over. It's usually something that lasts for several days, weeks, months, and maybe even for some people years. And in that time and in that discomfort, you are encouraged to become enlightened, to become aware, and expand your current perspectives, doing any of those things or all of those things, okay? And for a minute, or at least for some portion of time, maybe not a minute, literally, but at some point, there was a portion of time when someone refused to get into this hangman position and open themselves up to a different perspective, to a wider perspective, open themselves up to their own intuition or to the truth of the matter, is kind of more what this feels like. There is or was a certain conversation, a certain set of facts, figures. There was just something where it was kind of plain, it was kind of obvious, and someone buried their head in the sand. I used to say this a lot more often when I first started this channel, someone was ostriching, like an ostrich. I don't know that the ostrich bird does this in real life. They do it in cartoons from like Warner Brothers or something like that, where they bury their head in the sand. And that's where they choose to go when they don't want to see something, or they're scared, or they're, again, not wanting to see what is obviously in front of them. So they put their head in the sand. I don't know that the actual bird does that, but that's what someone did, was trying to bury their head in the sand. And the universe said, no, you're going to look at this. You're going to realize what's happening here. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in relation to anybody else. This could be your own Cancer or someone else's. If it's not you, it's someone else's story. This could be their own awakening within themselves. It could be realizations and new perspectives that someone has on their own life, on their own outlook regarding some issue in their life, some behavioral choice or condition in their life, or, whatever. It doesn't have to be relative to anybody else but a single individual. In some of your cases, that's not the case. It is relative to others, or it does at least involve other people. And someone here is just like, again, the universe, God, spirit, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, was just like, you're going to see this whether you want to or not, because it's good for you, or it's the only way you're going to grow. It's the only way you're going to be set free. Interesting. Set free. Okay, so remember I said about the hangman, and we don't see it as much here because of this, very yoga, stretchy pose that woman is taking on the card. But in the traditional tarot, like I told you, someone is tied up to a tree limb by the ankle. And most people, like I said a moment ago, about being hung upside down or walking around with your head where your feet would be, it's not where you want to be, because physiologically that's just not how humans operate. It's just not how we normally go about our day. If you spent an entire day walking on your hands, I bet you'd be pretty, your brain would be very fuzzy. Your body would just not be in its best shape, right? It might adapt over time, but one day spent that way is certainly not going to be easily adapted to, right? So that's kind of what I'm sensing here, is like, it frees you from being in an uncomfortable situation. The quicker, the sooner, the more aptly you can eventually take this blindfold off that exists in the Two of Swords and see what you've been not wanting to see. Whether it be you or someone else, Cancer, I don't know. And possibly what someone has not wanted to see was very upsetting. And I don't think it's like something gory or something like literal, like literally look at it with your eyes. Maybe in some of your cases, maybe it's literally look at this note, read this letter, read this email, look at this picture, and you didn't want to look at it. I think the looking and the seeing is more about not your physical eyes, but maybe your spiritual eye, maybe, you know, your third eye, maybe see something with your heart, see something differently since it's swords with your mind. So think differently about a situation. Do you get what I mean? So I'm saying see it, see it, see it, face it. It doesn't have to be literally with your human biological eyes. Do you get me? So anyway, the Nine of Swords traditionally, typically is talking about, you know, disturbances in the night, you know, not sleeping well. Restless nights, sleepless nights. Like I'm feeling this reluctance possibly. Okay, so someone could what's that word? Insomnia. Someone could be dealing with now or has been dealing recently with insomnia. I feel like this tiredness, but like you can't close your eyes, or when you close your eyes, the sleep process just never comes about. You know, you never get lulled or you never drift fully into sleep. You know, it's like wishing and wanting to be restful, to be rested, to be able to have a good night's sleep, but it's not possible because possibly physiologically there could be an issue, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, there could be a problem. And I feel like the desire, oh, okay, that's another way that this is coming through. Another way to read that is that it could be this desire to escape through sleep. So as much as someone here could be suffering from insomnia, I don't know what the opposite of that is, which is basically, it's not narcolepsy, not like in the medical sense, the opposite of insomnia, but like someone who's sleeping too much and they do it willfully. They want to be asleep because being awake, the waking moment, the waking hours, the day and the matter at hand, the responsibilities, the obligations, whatever is on the docket for them is uncomfortable. They don't want to face their reality. They'd rather sleep their life away. Do you get what I mean? What else is there? There could be, this is such an interesting word, or phrasing, I guess, or pairing of words. It feels like a personal horror is how they phrase that to me, a personal horror. So it feels like someone is personally deeply ashamed of something. They never imagined they would have said or done XYZ. They never expected that they would experience this, that, or the other. And their responsibility, their accountability and ownness in the situation, ownness in their behavior, ownness in their choices is really tearing them apart. Personal horror. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I allowed this to happen. If it's not I did something proactive, it's I can't believe I didn't prevent something from happening. Do you get what I mean? And there's guilt over that. There's shame over that. And someone, you know, is coming to that realization, or they're grappling with it. Something like that, okay? All right, so let's get some further information here for you guys. What else is going on in this situation for Cancer? Please show me. What else is happening in this story? Please show me. Seven of Wands been coming out. I think you're you're the fourth sign, and I think it's been in every reading. Knight of Swords, and one more, please, for Cancer. What else is going on in this story? Please show me. Knight of Swords. Yep. Okay. That's like, they got a lot to say about that Knight of Swords. Okay. So wonderful. Not wonderful, but like, I'm glad that it's clear in Five of Swords. Okay. What's the potential outcome in this situation for Cancers in February? Show me the potential outcome in the situation, please. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Hey now. Repeating cards, man, tends to happen in these retrogrades. Okay, so what came out? Oh, flip this guy over. That also. Okay. So, Cancer, Seven of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Five of Swords. Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with an air sign, but you don't have to be. And Five of Swords. And we will talk about the outcome and the overall in a minute. All right, so they had a lot to say about this Knight of Swords character. And, you know, the image is, you know, very, very obvious. Cancer, you could be dealing with a person, or this is what you're doing. You know, take your pick. You know your story better than I do. You could be dealing with somebody who's hot and cold, who runs away from the truth. And I mean, we were talking about that up here a minute ago. There is possibly a shared energy between you and another person that you both didn't want to realize something, didn't want to face something, didn't want to see something, or one of you was in that energy or is in that energy still. And you know, it is possibly a habit of someone, again, it could be you or the person that you're dealing with, I'm not sure, that they run away. Simply, they run away. Knight of Swords is known to be that type of character, not running away in cowardice, but like an energy that moves quickly, that moves on very fast, that has a particular goal or has a particular journey that they want to go on, and once they go on that journey, they're ready to move on to the next. There's sort of this impulsivity, there's sort of this great explorer or fascinated, like someone who's constantly fascinated with something, fascinated with you know, not travel, but like that could be a symptom or the way in which their fascination manifests. They simply cannot sit still. So this could be someone who, very interesting that this is coming through, like, and I've seen people do this. I'm not one of these people, but I've seen people who are like this, who literally, when they're on the phone, they have to like pace the floor. When they are on the phone, they can't sit and do a conversation. They have to be doing something else. So they'll go into the kitchen, they'll start making a meal, or they'll begin to fold the laundry or something like that. And it's not necessarily about efficiency or efficacy or getting things done. It's literally their mind, their personality is a busybody, or is someone who needs constant stimulation. And if you or anyone else is seeking calmness from a character like that, it's not going to be that way. They themselves are not calm on an internal space. This is not all the time with the Knight of Swords, but in your particular reading, Cancer, this is how this person is coming across. Additionally, because of what we see in this card, this person could be chasing something. What that thing is, I mean, in this card, it looks like, I mean, he's got that crossbow there, and there's a bird, a raven, a crow, something like that above him, and the motorcycle in the distance. So maybe he's chasing the crow, or maybe the crow is like his sight bird or something like that, you know how, or his hunting bird, you know, I guess like when people hunt, they sometimes use dogs, right? In this particular case, maybe this person is using a crow or a raven or something like that. Anyway, so this person is seeking something, they're chasing something, they're always on the move, always on the go. And Cancer, not saying it's not you, it could be you, but your traditional archetype is a lot less mobile. Not to say you're immobile, but you don't move quickly. You know, water signs don't usually move that fast. So you're dealing with a person who moves quickly, or you're dealing with a person who doesn't necessarily give much credence or give much care to stability, or they are incapable of providing stability, providing reliability, okay? If you want things done sort of in a maverick style, if you want to enjoy somebody who's very intellectual and can talk about any subject, or has a very insatiable curiosity about life or a particular topic, this is your person. This is the person you want to hang with. But if this is somebody that you're hoping to build a life with, build a business with, this is someone that you're hoping can become a steady part of your life on whatever level, in whatever way, it's not going to be this person at all. Not going to be them. Okay? At least not in the energy in which they're showing up. Maybe this is a phase for them. Maybe this is the stage of life or part of the stage of life that they're at, you know, depending on their personal journey. But at this time, if you're looking for something solid with them, you can forget about it. And their back is to you, or their back is to the viewer of the card. And that could be, since it's right below the Two of Swords in reverse, that could be the thing that we don't want to realize. that this person has turned tail, that this person has skipped town. Possibly in the very low vibe of what the Knight of Swords can be, this can be somebody who literally creeps out in the middle of the night. This could be, if this was a romantic situation, not that the Knight of Swords is known to be this, but this could be a player. You know, the player is usually the Knight of Wands, but because they're both the masculine archetype, they kind of share in each other's skill set. So even if this was a Don Juan, it wouldn't be a romantic Don Juan. It would be a very cold and kind of icy Don Juan. It's the Don Juan who is not going to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. It's the Don Juan who's like, hey, can I come over? Like very, very transactional, very business-like. No fluff, no romance, no, wine and dine you, take you out for a good time to kind of present this allure of I'm going to be your one and only. Knight of Swords doesn't have time for that, doesn't have time to be all showy. It's like, no, literally, I'm just trying to have sex with you. Do you want to have sex with me? Okay, cool. Let's go have sex. Like literally, it might be in those terms. I would like to have sex with you. I don't know who's doing this and succeeding, but literally might hit you up, be like, I would like to have sex with you. Do you want to have sex with me? And you say yes. Okay, I'm coming over. All right, we're done having sex. I'm going to leave now. Very, very... Okay, so you get the picture, right? And that's not for everybody, because not for all of you, this person is a romantic or sexual interest. For some of you, that's the case. Perfect, take it. The bottom line is, cannot rely on this person. They, in terms of Knight energy, are still a bit immature. Knights kind of equate to teenage energy, angsty energy, young adult energy. Energy that is yet to really solidify itself. It's like a Jell-O. It's not the Jell-O when you're stirring it and it's still liquid and you can put something in it. It's that Jell-O, you've set it in the fridge and it's firm. It's firm. You could stick something on top and it's not necessarily going to fall through, but if you poke through enough, it's going to falter. It's not stable. It's not fully set, okay? So that's what this is. You're dealing with a Jell-O person. And I feel this person, in some of your cases, could be a revolving door situation. So they're in, they're out, they show up when they want to show up and they leave when they want to leave, and they don't have much regard, if any regard, for how you feel about it. That's a headache, baby. That's a headache. 5 of Swords. So in some of your cases, Cancer, you've been told by friends, by family members, by coworkers that this person is no good for you. This person is bad news. This person might tell you themselves, I'm bad news. I laugh because a silly quote came into my mind from a Pee-wee movie from the 80s. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. Pee-wee Herman, that is. Anyway, and they might tell you straight up, I'm no good for you. I'm not going to be what you want me to be. I'm not going to give you what you need, or I can't give you what you want. They may have told you themselves. Someone has said this, and it's not what you or someone else wanted to hear. 5 of Swords also talks about petty victories and petty arguments, or winning despite it all. So in a few of your cases, you've had someone who has made it a point to manipulate you, has made it a point to kind of get their way, whatever that means, okay? Whether that means getting you on their side and getting you to be sympathetic towards them, or getting their way as in to hurt you. Oh, you're right, because when I was doing the pre-shuffle, the 3 of Swords came out, right? So in some of your cases, someone wanted to break your heart, not necessarily from the beginning. I don't want to say that because I don't know. But as of late, they have decided, I need to break your heart. I want to break your heart. I want to cause you discomfort. I want to cause you, in some cases, misery, okay? And that's exactly what they sought out to do, and that's what they did, okay? So this is all not anything most people are running, clamoring foaming at the mouth to realize about themselves, or realize about the person that they've been dealing with, or realize about the friend that they trusted, or the family member that they've known since they were, in kindergarten or something like that. Oh, me and my cousin, we've always, had each other's backs, and now all of a sudden we both turned 22 and now they hate me or something, whatever. So there is this dissolving or change, because fives can indicate change in the quality of your relationship with this person, or their own personality, or yours, or something like that, where now you're realizing we're not really aligned. We're not really on the same page. That's not something that most people rush to do or rush into when we have such a history with a person, when we have such care and concern and love for a person, so many hopes, dreams, wishes that we had, again, aligned with a person, family, friend, lover, otherwise, right? And now all of a sudden, it seems all of a sudden, even though I told you earlier, someone was burying their head and didn't see the writing on the walls, or didn't want to see what was happening. Okay, but it feels sudden, and that's a problem. Or it's not that it's a problem. It's not something that is easily dealt with. It takes time. It takes effort. And in some cases, it has some type of spiritual oversight with the hangman being here. Okay? Seven of Wands is possibly, well, in this case, due to this artwork, I feel this is a restorative energy. And that makes sense, because the sevens are about recalibration, reconsidering things, going back to the drawing board, or it's like temperature taking. It's like evaluation, okay? And I feel for many of you Cancers, or the person you're dealing with, because again, it is a general, it can go the other way, all right? But I feel whoever is having the rude awakening, this is the response. Bubble up. I'm not saying that as advice, but it's kind of, it's feeling like this is the defense. And Seven of Wands is naturally a defensive posture, or a card in which we take up in defense of ourselves. And I say bubble up because it kind of looks like she's in, excuse me, she's in a snow globe, right? It kind of looks like she has put this barrier around herself, or she's inserted herself in a glass globe. And not that, of course, glass can break and be penetrated, but there is this general rule with snow globes: don't break them. Do not open them, do not crack them, do not try to get the little snowman or get the little village or the little person and little figurines that are inside. Do not try and get in there, because that would ruin the integrity of the knickknack, right? Of the object. And that's kind of what I feel here, is like your response, or someone's response, is their defense is to isolate themselves, for good or for worse. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but there's this isolation, there's this retracting into self. We see she's striking a very yoga meditative pose. Her solar plexus is illuminated there, or activated there. So some of you are doing that type of work. You're getting into your chakras. You might be doing working with a Reiki specialist, or excuse me, a Reiki master. You might be practicing Reiki on yourself, or whatever. But there is sort of this restorative it's like taking yourself as if you were a car down to the garage, down to the best mechanic in town, and saying, hey, run a full diagnostic, tell me what's going on so we can fix this. Again, I feel this is being done on your own, Cancer. I'm not sensing that people can get in to do this work. I think you're doing this work by yourself. So you are your own mechanic. And I applaud that. The interesting thing here is that it is the Seven of Wands. So it does speak to some type of contention. It does talk about people outside of yourself wanting access to you, or wanting to present you with possibly contentious energy. It could be not necessarily contentious, to be fair. In some of your cases, this is just friends reaching out. Hey, Cancer, what's up? Sending you messages, sending you, well, I guess people don't really use Snapchats anymore. And I don't use TikTok, so I don't even know if people use it as a messaging service or something. And listen, I know TikTok isn't a messenger service, but I don't know if people do call and response TikToks to each other. That's what I mean. But anyway, people are reaching out to you, wanting to get in contact with you, and you've kind of gone cold on them. And so in a strange way, maybe not strange, maybe it's a purposeful way, you've kind of taken a page out of this person's book and you've kind of turned your back, or you've gone into this, run. Well, you're not running. So let me not say it that way. But there is sort of like this, quote unquote, selfish leaning or selfish quality to the Seven of Wands. And maybe selfish isn't the right word. Let's say self-interested. Thank you. Let's take away selfish. We're going to replace it with self-interested. Because again, the Knight of Swords does what they want to do. They don't really think of anyone else. And then you're doing similar actions, or you're being perceived as being selfish, but it's not that way. How can I say it? Like, this is more indulgent and self-serving and can be seen as selfish. This is self-interested. There is a difference. And I think here, like I was describing before with the Knight of Swords, it's about running away. It's about self-preservation. It's about following your impulses. It's about, that satisfaction thing. Here, it's not about satisfaction. I'm not answering my friend's text because it satisfies me. I'm not answering my friend's text because I'm doing something else. I'm prioritized in another way. It's not to say I will never respond. That's the difference. It's not to say I will never respond to my friends' messages. It's that I'm not responding for right now. So this is more of a continual action. This is someone's, base personality is that of a runner. Use that word whichever way you want. And this is a temporary runner situation. This is not how someone naturally is, because the solar plexus is lit up like that. She's in this meditative pose. So this is just a temporary act of runner energy, or energy that doesn't make time, that does not fully engage when people want to be engaged with. So this could be invites coming to you. Hey, we're going to have a Zoom movie party with the family. You should join us. We're going to watch Frozen for the 15th time, blah, 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 whatever. And this is saying, literally, I'm not going to go to that. I'm going to instead work on healing myself, So it's like purposeful and proactive, making good use of your time. If you're going to be isolated, this isn't sitting alone crying for the most part. This isn't sitting alone feeling sorry for the self or having a pity party. This is trying to get to a better place, trying to get to some point of healing, right? And that again can be influenced by the Hangman. Outcome for your reading today, Cancer, potential outcome, is the Two of Pentacles. So this is a choice point for some of you, or a choice point in the story. It could speak to one person. It could speak to everybody involved. But I feel here that there's this decision on being made on how to move forward. And for some reason, that orb that's in the top right of the card is striking me like Saturn. I don't believe the Two of Pentacles has shit to do with Saturn. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But in this moment, that image is just giving me an idea of Saturn. So some of you might be exploring aspects of Saturn in your birth chart. You might be considering what Saturn means to the general study of astrology, period. You might drive a Saturn, but there's something about Saturn. You might just have a general interest in the celestial body, that is Saturn. Or as I think they want me to talk about it, Saturn is talking about lessons, karmic lessons, and it's a restrictive energy. Okay. It's an energy that puts us to our paces and helps us grow, helps us mature by, in some cases, or to certain degrees, pushing us through the school of hard knocks. So for some of you, like I said earlier, this is a rude awakening, that you've been dealing with a person or dealing with a situation or dealing with your own archetypes, your own personality traits that have been not helpful, that have been a disservice, and haven't really been accountable or responsible. And Saturn rules responsibility, or Saturn is, as it's related again to, well, not again, maybe because I didn't mention it here, but I've mentioned it across my channel several times. Saturn is related to Capricorn, is related to 10th house energy, and all of that is about responsibility. All of that is about integrity and having a genuine give-a-care of how you impact your world and others around you, and how you fulfill your roles and your duties and your responsibilities and your obligations. And someone here is making a choice point about that. You, them, someone else, all of the people possibly involved have a decision to make on how to take on those aspects or those considerations, or how to further ignore them, how to further run away from them. Or you're at a point where possibly, because also Saturn speaks to value, so you are choosing how to value yourself, your own integrity, your own dignity, your own sense of responsibility in terms of your job, your family, your friends, whatever. How to proceed forward, because the twos are initiate energy. They lend themselves to the beginning of a story, the beginning of a trajectory, the beginning of a path. Right? Again, choices. Those are the things that we face before we begin something, right? Or before we submit to something. Yes, we have to make a choice. So that's what's, upcoming, or at least the potential outcome here, is to see yourself or someone else sees themselves making a choice regarding how they seek or how they demonstrate their own value. Something like that, okay? Overall energy is the Justice card, major arcana for Libra. Could be dealing with a Libra, don't have to be. So karmic justice, I talked a lot about this being Saturn. I don't know. I haven't looked at the booklet for this deck. I don't know why, but that's how it's come out. And it's not Saturn. I know that is not Saturn. But again, because I talked about it for so long, Saturn does talk again about karmic justice. And here we find the Justice card. So for some of you, and this has been thematic between you and the other three zodiacs, it's been coming out a little bit, that this time period in February, there is some karmic justice being set right, being set into realignment, into balance, okay? And it's not necessarily going to happen in some happy, fluffy type of way, some very, dramatically pleasing way. A lot of people are facing justice or having justice served in their life, and it's not tasty. It's not nice. If this is a person, or this is a relationship, or this is some connection that you were hoping would be long lasting, it might not be. More than likely it's not, because of how another person is showing up. Not necessarily, and it's not about what, this is good. This is not a reflection of you. Let's think about that, because Saturn again takes on responsibility, takes on this ownership. Like, I am responsible for fill in the blank, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And that's not necessarily true, and that could be the new perspective that you or someone else has to be aware of. Your actions or inactions, choices and behaviors or whatever do not dictate what another person chooses to do on their end. Do you get what I mean? We are all individuals. We are all intrepid. Nobody here, at least hopefully, nobody here is beholden or in direct influence of how someone else behaves. But I feel someone feels that here. Someone feels like, oh, I did this and this is how this person reacted. Listen, I already told you about the Knight of Swords. That's who they are, in the blood, from the root. Don't take it personally if this person hightails it out of your life. If this person does a revolving door routine in and out of your life. That's what they do in all aspects of their life, with all relationships. And if you don't see that, or if you're the only person and that's what you believe, then again, don't take it personally, because again, who are you to them? Maybe they have good relationships with their family members. They're stable there, but they're not stable with their friendships, or vice versa. Maybe they're very stable and have long-lasting friendships in their life, but you as a family member, as a cousin, as a sister, as a brother, you can never find this person yet. Every time you're looking to see them, they're over at their friend Claudia's house, or they're always willing to go and hang out with their best friend Audrey or some shit like that. And you as the mother, or you as the son, or whoever, you're just like, oh my God, how come this person doesn't stay around for me? Don't take it personally. And again, just don't take it personally. Find the lesson if you can. Okay? Cancer, we're going to wrap it up there. because I don't want to drone on and on about this, because you know, I know that can go wider and wider and wider, and that's not the purpose of these general readings. Okay, so Cancer, that's your reading. If you liked it, like buttons down below. If it resonated with you in any type of way, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would love to read that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that button, hit the notification bell as well, so you can see when I upload to the channel. Okay, Cancer, I'll be back soon to do those mid-February readings. If you want to see any other content, make sure you check your playlist for Cancer 2021. Feel free to check 2020, 2019, 2018, peruse them all at your leisure. Yeah, and if you want to get at me for a personal reading, check the description box below. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.